Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. Yes, $350 was too much money for the G Cloud. For a cloud streaming handheld that's primarily focused on cloud streaming. But here's the kicker. Yesterday's price isn't today's price. Now you can find the G Cloud going from between $150 to $250 used on places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Craigslist, even Amazon. You may catch a deal. So if it's retailing for $200, the same price as the PlayStation Portal, will people be up in arms as much? Probably not. But here's the thing. Not only can you use PlayStation Remote Play, but you can use Xbox Game Pass, especially with Game Pass Ultimate, where you can play all the games through the cloud. Yes, I know there's a plethora of other cloud streaming services. We're not going to get into all of that. But here's the thing. I like the G Cloud more than the Portal because it has a processor that actually lets you do gaming on the device itself. Now, I am no stranger to cloud streaming. I have several different devices. I have an iPad. I have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Plus. I have the Razer Edge 5G. That's another one. We're not even going to speak on that. I have my iPhone. So I could do cloud streaming on any device that I wanted to. So why did I pick it up? Point blank period. I wanted a console just for Android gaming. Yes, I can do Android gaming on my Samsung tablet and even on my Galaxy Fold, even on my Razer Edge. I can do Android gaming on that. But I'm the type of person that's weird. I like to play different games on different devices. Now I have a Steam Deck. I play modern games and PC games. I don't do any emulation on it. I have a Nintendo Switch OLED. Not the Switch 2 yet because there hasn't been a game that's launched that made me want to level up, as it were. We'll touch on that later. Just not this video. That I use for Nintendo gaming. I have my Razer Edge 5G. I strictly do emulation on that. I like going back and playing PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, GameCube, N64, SNES, NES, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS. Yes, I like to play all that on that. So I use Logitech G Cloud just for Android gaming. And as an Android gaming console that does cloud streaming, it's a good handheld. But here's the thing. If you look at it as just an Android tablet, because that's all it is an Android tablet with controls built in, $350, that's reasonably priced when you consider it's running the same processor as the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE, which you can still get around the same price as the Logitech G Cloud, which I think that is actually a better tablet than getting the Tab S9 FE. But I really like the Logitech G Cloud. I think people put it in a box that it doesn't need to be in because it does more than other devices in this category. When you look at the Logitech G Cloud, you have to look at the PlayStation Portal, and you also have to look out, what's the other device? I can't remember the name. It's the Absolute something or other. But the Absolute and the PlayStation Portal both have really low-end processors, and you can't do anything on them other than cloud streaming. Hell, the Absolute, for God's sakes, can't even play Android games using the built-in controls. Only touchscreen. That's the dumbest. And it's software locked. So when you put the Logitech side by side with these devices and realize how much more can do, realize if you compare it not to a gaming handheld, but compare it to Android tablets, you'll see that the Logitech G Cloud is actually a pretty good device. I like the build quality. I like the way it feels in the hand. Get me. I think it was designed really well. I love it. I just wish people would take it out of the box that they put it in and actually give it a try. If you try it and just do, as I said, Android gaming on it, I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Yeah. Now, when you look at Android gaming, and you can do emulation on it, of course, but if you're looking at Android gaming handhelds, you'll see it's reasonably priced. Yes, it is on the higher end, but it's not the high end. It's running a few years old, mid-range processor. Yes. But I would rather have the Logitech G Cloud than I can't think of the name of it. Man, I can't think of the name of these other handhelds. See, if I wasn't doing this video, I'd remember. But anyway, we're just gonna skip past it. But if you put it up next to other Android gaming handhelds, you would see that the build quality and the way it feels in the hand and the ergonomics in the screen put it far above the rest. The only thing that's better would probably be one of the higher end devices, you know, $400 or $500 devices. Do I need to name them? Like the Odin Pro 2. I wouldn't pick this over an Odin 2 Pro. No. Odin 2 Mini, yes. Retroid Pocket 5. I couldn't think of the name of it. I knew I would come back around to it. When I picked this over the Retroid Pocket 5, yes, most definitely. But after you get above it, the devices are really expensive. Yes, they have great processors, they are amazing, but then it gets you, yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's all I want you to do, is take a look at the Logitech G Cloud with an optimistic mind. You put it up against a mid-range Android tablet, you will see it's comparable. Get an 8-inch tablet or a 7-inch mid-range tablet. Okay, it's gonna run you anywhere, let's see, usually about, you might be able to find a reasonably good one for $199, but you're probably gonna be around $250 to $350 for a good mid-range tablet. But then you have to factor in the controller. You want a nice, good controller. You want a Type-C controller because you don't want any latency. Okay, you're gonna spend, for a good one, anywhere from $100 to $250 for a good Type-C controller. I guess you can get a Galileo, which is $69, but still $70 on top of the controller. I mean, on top of the tablet. Then you factor in the ergonomics. Then you factor in the portability. And the Logitech G Cloud makes perfect sense. Now, where Logitech failed, they should have leaned more into the Android gaming side, more on the emulation side. They don't want to speak on emulation because it's a taboo, touchy subject, but the thing can emulate. When you put all the things that it does, that sets it apart from other cloud streaming handhelds, you'll see that it's actually a great handheld. But that's just my opinion.